I am in Vienna today, and I'm going to do a solo day through the city. Here is the route. Vienna's been on my list of cities to visit for a while. Being a musician, I grew up listening so much to recordings from Vienna Opera, Vienna Philharmonic, so it's really cool to be here to experience it. Super grateful. I'm starting out in Schonbrunn Palace, which is a bit further away from the city center, but it's nice because the royal family used to live here, and there's a bunch of really beautiful gardens. So I'm going to walk around and check that out a bit, and then I'll take the train into the city center. So the gardens are really beautiful, and they go on and on for, seems like forever. A lot of people I've talked to about the palace have kind of compared it, said it's like the Austrian version of Versailles, which I can definitely see the resemblance. There's a lot of beauty, opulence here, and so this is the start of the garden, so the path will lead all the way up to this sort of gate-like structure there at the top. Okay, I made it to the top, and here is the view. You can see the summer castle and Greater Vienna below, and it is so cool. The garden is so peaceful and really well kept. Year round, I know they're doing maintenance. We made it now just outside the city center to Naschmarkt. It's this little market that's right above the U3 train, kind of in this alley that just lines the street. And they got a lot of stuff, some touristy shops, some organic farmer market stuff. Seems there's like a really good mix of things here. Okay, we made it over to Belvedere Palace now, another palace that's closer to the city center, that also has some really beautiful gardens. So here's the front of the building. And again, just like a really impressive landscape and display with the city in the background. We made it to St. Charles Church, the first of many churches on the stop today. Okay, this is the Sachertorte, and it has this cafe that sells like a very famous Sachertorte cake that a lot of people in Vienna come for. I'm going to try it from a different place, because they have them bakeries and pastry shops all around the city, but this is like a famous one. But I cannot wait in this line. Okay, we made it to Albertina, which is, I believe, part of the old royal family whose names are put together, Albert and Christina, and it's a museum. And right across the way is the very famous Vienna Opera House, which looks very old, but I learned recently that the original one was bombed and destroyed during World War II. So this is the rebuilt one that is made to look old, but I believe it's from the 50s. But really beautiful. Unfortunately, they're not in season right now. I think they come back at the end of July, but it's really beautiful to see this house where, you know, so much really beautiful art has been made. Okay, I'm entering into Burggarten, which is connected right to the Hofburg over there, which we'll see from the other side. But this has some really famous parts to it, especially the statue with Mozart, which we'll go see right now. Okay, we are here with Mr. Salzburg himself. And yeah, a few days ago when I first stopped by here, I did not even notice the clef made out of flowers below. But yeah, the statue is nice. It's cool to see some appreciation for Mozart, classical composer. But honestly, there's a bit of a weird obsession with Mozart in some of the tourist traps and stuff downtown. But besides that, I think, you know, there's no harm in publicity for classical music. Though there is really so many other amazing composers who have come through Vienna or from Vienna. Even the contemporary ones from 20th century like Schoenberg, Webern, Berg, you know, all really great composers that I wish would get a bit more recognition as well. But I guess we'll take it with just Mozart. I am at MuseumQuartiers right over here, and yeah, it's really nice because a lot of the museums are right here in the center part. We have the Art History Museum, Natural History Museum over here, and actually yesterday I was over at Leopold Museum in the back there, took some footage. This was a really nice museum because it focused on 20th century Austrian artists, which I was not so familiar about. And there was a section that had some portraits of famous musical composers, particularly Schoenberg, and talked a lot about the connection between those artists and the musical composers. So that was really cool and unexpected to see. I was on a tour the other day through the old city, and the tour guide was great because she gave us some good insight on this sort of old-looking bridge pass thing, which was actually the wall, the border wall for the old town, which they tore down, you know, once the city outgrew its size. But yeah, now we're entering into the actual old town, which is so much smaller. Okay, this big plaza is the Hofburg and the National Library collection, and they put on a lot of huge events here as well. It's really stunning and beautiful. I think most importantly about this structure here in the back is during World War II, famously Hitler came up and spoke to hundreds of thousands of people standing in this plaza from right up there on the balcony. And since then, I don't think anything has been used for that balcony, but it's crazy to imagine all of those people here at that time. Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of different styles of architectures and impressions. For example, over here, it kind of looks like there's like a Gothic-style church, and next to it is like this sort of Greek Parthenon, you know, looking building. So maybe that's the case where there's just a lot of different styles coming together, which is maybe what makes Vienna quite interesting. Okay, this is the entrance for Sissi Museum, and there's this huge inner dome right here. Very impressive. Okay, so starts the shopping district. All of the very fancy Gucci, Vuitton, Rolex stores are down there. The water fountains in the city look like little fire hydrants. Okay, this is St. Peter's, and it intersects really nicely with the street of Stephensplatz. Okay, we are going inside to try Sachertorte cake over at Conditorier. Of course, the H&Ms and the Zara's have to come occupy all the really old buildings. Okay, we made it to Stephensplatz and St. Stephen's Cathedral. So we're going to go inside and check it out. Okay, from the outside, it's very Sagrada-esque. But the inside is interesting. I was reading that the roof actually blew off at one point, so they had to redo this. Yeah, down there they have the section for Mass. Okay, I feel like I can walk the streets here in the center of Vienna for a long time. There's really so much to see down every little alley and crook. But that is the walk for today.